Are you wondering what's going to happen with gold next week? Are you wondering what's happening with dollar next week? Are you wondering what's going to happen at all? Let's go through the trade plans with the highest probability pairs for the next week. So, let's make some trade plans. Trading Forex is risky nor appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Whatever has happened in the past does not need to happen in the future. And before you risk all your money, please use a demo for at least a year or 3 months or whatever until you are profitable on demo. Then prove to me, then we can go on real money. So whatever you invested today shouldn't really matter to you. Okay, cool, great. With all this madness going around, you guys are still hitting the like button and you're still commenting. Thank you guys very, very much. So coming into DXY here, we have bearish pressure-ish, some kind of falling a bit and then some range. The question becomes, what are you going to do this week? This week, I would then say that, what if we can fall again? Is this bullish? Is this bearish? Well, with this move here, it looks fairly bullish. With this move here, it looks still fairly bullish, but still we are falling down. And here we are going into neutral. So what is the live event that is going to happen this week? If I'm not mistaken, there is going to be NFP this week. There is going to be some ISM and some services. Not a real interest rate meeting this week, so not a lot of movers. Remember, we are in the summer right now, so that would make me mostly look for entries on Mondays, Tuesday, and be out by Wednesday. No longer than Wednesday. I think Monday and Tuesday is kind of good enough for me this week. So if I got 100 pips in total, I will just take it and move on, because the number one rule you're not supposed to have this month is not to lose money, okay, whatsoever. So if you think you're going to have a half decent profitable trade this week, then don't do it. So I'm still thinking down to 91.23 this week. For EURUSD, we have here, somebody commented on my chart saying, hey, I can't see your price action. I'm sorry if you can see price action. This is price action, okay? So price action, where we have support and resistance, we have a double bottom, higher, high, higher, low situation, and then range. Price action for you, thank you. So I'm thinking this one should go higher. And for every week in this next weeks now, we are always going to look for buy opportunities always. So we have to go back to bullish. So if we go for bullish view for dollar pairs, this is kind of what we're thinking here at central pivot and then higher. Kind of what I tried to do on Friday. And then higher up to 2019. Volume, no. M2, yes. As you can see here, I already have pointed out the stop loss, which should be down in this level at around 1876. And if you are thinking of this week of buying your dollar, remember, if we make a lower low, look for double bottom or some kind of reversal again, because I don't think we're going to go extreme now. The market seems to have settled. As why do I think it has settled? Because we are going into this range here. And also, generally speaking, for June and July, I don't expect us to be moving a lot. And also, we have already given the sellers what they wanted for June. So if we can just range until July. So last year, this is June, July last year. I just want to show you for all the dollar pairs in general, where we first week came in. We second week went sideways, and the third week went down on euro dollar, where we bottomed out at 22nd of June, came up again, and then it came down again around 28th. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, which day is it today? And then we continued higher. So for me, that is kind of just buying at M2 as we're still moving higher. And even though if we made lower lows, as you look to previous to other years, it still tends to hold from the high and the low of June, even though this is until August, by the way, this is until August. So this is August here. This is beginning of June. Even though we make higher highs or, yeah, and coming back to the lows, we still are rejected. So we don't really know what's going to happen by June, but by end of June. But coming into July, if we end June high, you are going to expect, and you need to expect, things to fall back to at least the support. Coming into this year, if we are still down here in this area coming into July, you have to expect it to come back up to the high of June, but not much higher. So for this week, we're still thinking of buying central pivot at 1919 up to 2019, got out, or Monday and Tuesday, and then let's see what happens for NFP. Coming into the COT report for dollar, we have a surprise. There is a lot of shorts taking profit, but also a lot of longs taking profit. So generally speaking, I thought it was going to be a lot of buyers coming into dollar because dollar became so strong. So that's very interesting. Dollar didn't strengthen by buyers. It strengthened because sellers took profit. Totally different scenario, because that means that sellers can come in at a later point. It's not like we have flipped the market. We just took profit for sellers and buyers took also profit. That's actually very good news. COT report for Euro, on the other hand, is not what I wanted. Euro shorts was increasing by 26,000 contracts. And if you look past over the longer run, that is a pretty significant week. As we can see here from back in January, we have 165,000 down to 37,000. That's around the same drop. So we haven't had that in a couple of 6 months now, this drop now. But was that supposed to happen on dollar? Yeah, we were supposed to increase here and then fall. It's just that it didn't show in the first week, didn't rise so much on EURUSD, but still, buyers, sellers, get out. Now we are kind of break even. Now is where we need to be for the summer and all the way until August. So most of the positions are now out. Coming into pound, okay. I said on the Bank of England day that we should either hold was 39, and it kind of did for some hours, and then 38, 39 is kind of your next move. And for those who only want my price action, here is my price action. So price action here is, there is double bottom here, but there is an untapped market in this area here. It's not like I'm trading it, but I'm just saying we have just done that. We haven't really tapped this top here as to what can actually happen and then higher. So coming into this week's and the buy zones, and now done the price action, and that fits very on M2 at 38.35. Ways to stop loss, mate, is already on the screen. It tells you below the previous low. All right, ways to target, mate. 40.50 up to M4, and the only valid price to buy from this week is down in this area, anything below current price. So if you're thinking I'm gonna buy it, and now it might be already too early, you might be maybe too aggressive, you know, think about it. Like, if you can get even a better price and you don't want to lose money, you should not be aggressive. So you should then be down at the bottom at M2, waiting and kind of disregarding anything else that happens. Okay. Pound, COT. COT for pound is not as the same, but kind of the same market. We longs took a lot of profits, shorts took a lot of extra positions, turning this into a lot more bearish than we kind of wanted. But that fit kind of the pound dollar move, but we're still positive. And we have been in a range for quite some time on pound on the COT, and we have been in a range for quite some time on the pound, so nothing has really happened and changed. So for the COT report and the dollar report, does it still support the upside? If that's your buys, yes, good. Take that. Welcome. Pound yen. Another interesting move this week was that we went straight up like a rocket ship. And we stopped before target. Okay. What does that mean? Does that mean that we are in a range? Let's find a range tool here. The range tool tells me that this is your buy zone and this is your take profit zone. So not really that either. So it's kind of a difficult week on pound yen last week, and I think I told you guys do not do it if you didn't have a profit, you didn't have a good entry. So until then, yeah, thank you, Patu. Thank you for subscribing. Until then, we kind of need to go down to 153.42 and then higher. Is that gonna happen? I don't know. I haven't done the seasonality for yen pairs, but let's say that June high and low is gonna make the range, and right now we are in the middle of the range. Is that where you want to be buy or seller this week? Probably not. So you kind of need to want it to come back up here so you can sell it, or you want it to come back all the way down again so you can buy back up again. Remember, expect 100% retracements of whatever move you have one day, you can come back the same day or the next day. New Zealand yen, very strong last week, very strong, very good, good boy. So I probably have to just tell you guys to, you know, this one is probably the one that works the best. But remember, I think there was Sydney having a lockdown now. Was New Zealand also maybe having some lockdowns now? You guys have to tell me. And if that is, that would send it down a bit at least, and then you can take it up again. If there was lockdowns, I need to have done that research, but nonetheless, that would probably make it less viable to buy it, but still is a very good buy down here at around M2 at least. So if you get down to 70, look for it, but don't chase it if it goes higher, okay? Don't chase it, just let it be, because we're coming up to resistance, we are at the current high, so remember where you're supposed to buy. Support, and this is resistance. Okay, so trade plan is from around 17 to around 71.60. Let's see how it goes. Bada bing. COT report for New Zealand was that not a lot of change. Both buyers and sellers engaged. Very, very, very interesting, and very counter euro and pound. So they were not so changed about New Zealand last week. Canadian dollar. Here we need to find your bearish outlook. By the way, I'm going to give you a pivot point video soon about this one, so don't worry about the rules and what to do and all those things. It's coming, all right? Cool. Sell, probably sell. So you need to have a lower low. The question becomes, ladies and gentlemen, are we in this range of high and low for June? As I just prophesied about June being the high and the low, this is a very big range from top to bottom on June. And you're currently in the middle, right? You're kind of stuck in the middle. So what are you going to do here? Are you going to risk it for biscuit? Are you going to sell here? Are you going to sell here? Or are you going to sell here? I think the best high probability trade for you is to wait for it to come back up to some of these resistances, 1, 2, or 3, and see if it reverses and let it go. Don't chase it. Don't touch it if it doesn't reverse down again. Okay, so maybe 1 hour, 15 minutes time frame, whatever it is, where it shows some kind of rejection, small lot size, all those things. Okay, don't risk it, and there's no need. Stop loss above previous high, above 125. So if you have that one, maybe, yeah, so cool. Just above previous high. So whatever, that's previous high and that's a previous high. So you choose you. Am I going to trade this? No. Am I going to trade this one? Probably not. Euro New Zealand was also requested for, and you're like wondering what is this mode? What are you thinking about? Well, let me show you something here, bro. Sell it from 69 for 50 or around 70. Those are the two prices. I'm going to look for sell on this thing here. The reason why I look for sells is that here is the most probable seasonality is that Euro New Zealand is supposed to fall now, and then when we're coming into July, but what if that turns around and then does that? Cool. So that's my plan, for it to fall first and then reverse back up again. So as long as we're still falling, we are still falling at the moment, I'm going to look for sells on Euro New Zealand and target 61, 40, 42 and see how things goes. I think that Euro New Zealand is way more range bound, so I need to hold this for longer, but nevertheless, I'm still going to follow up with my plan. Coming into US oil, going higher high, going higher high. Very, very, very interesting that we're still going higher. And yeah, cool. I think buy and then I guess again there's an OPEC meeting. I think I saw on the calendar. We are in a tighter range this week. And are you still thinking about it? 73 was a target I remember to be. We're now at 73, 74. Okay. As I have said for quite so many times, weeks now, as long as we're still rising, as you're still finding higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour, you're still entitled to hold and to sell, to buy your positions. The question becomes, when is it a new lower low? Currently, a new lower low is at 70, on the 4 hour at least. But on the 1 hour, it's below 72. So you choose you in terms of where you want to see, where you want to put your stop loss. Maybe here is your stop loss for longer term, and shorter term, it's 72. You kind of have to, in the end, as well, test that out on demo and see which strategy that works out most in the end. Okay, cool. Target for this week is 75.62. All good. Good. Then I would go to some new pairs today. There is US 30 coming in today, and I will then need to move out and say we need to go to monthly on the US 30, the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. On this one, I only want to look for buys on monthlies, okay? So this month went a bit more extreme, probably took you out, made a reversal. So you should be in this again after this fall here. A fall is just another reason to get engaged, Remember, coming out of end of April, we are not expecting much. It can generally averagely go higher, but there's a lot of opportunities for it to fall back down again as it did here. So you're just thinking, without pivot points, you're thinking support, resistance, and hope that it comes back down in July or August and take it higher. So if it comes down in July, you are thinking, I will look for buy. Around where? Around 33.72. Great. Fantastic. Sounds like a plan. The other one is S&P 500. And I think for the past 3 months now, whatever it is, it has just come down to buy target and then boom. Buy target, boom. Buy target, boom. And even for this month of June, it went down to entry and boom. Where's your target, mate? 43.11, maybe around now as well. It depends. But if you're long term like me, it doesn't really matter. As long as price is still higher, as long as there is no pullbacks, as long as you're still good to go, you're still going higher, and you're still going, and you're still going, and there's no reason to take profit here. The only reason to take profit is that if you are going to liquidate or exit your positions because you are happy with the profits you've been given, because that was according to your plan for the past 20 years or 15 years, longer term, or you find that you want to go more to cash or whatever. But for price to fall, it's not a reason to exit. That is weak hands and weak trading. If you have stop loss because you have risked too much, that is also a weak hand. I need to adjust your risk. You should not lose your life here just because you bought some kind of reversal at the lower time frames going higher again. Okay, cool. So going higher on those things. So coming into two things on silver here. Silver is 4 hourly not bullish and 1 hourly not bullish. We are still not above 26.50, and until that alert has been taken off, we can't trade it. Okay, I want this to go higher. And we are coming into July. We're supposed to be very bullish for silver. Supposed to, doesn't need to happen, but supposed to. So for me, I am thinking, thinking going higher. Let's see if that thinking goes into practice, but until it is still just thinking. With all this madness going around, you guys are still hitting the like button and you're still commenting. Thank you guys very, very much. Coming into gold. Okay, gold gang, get out of your hole. I want you out here and loud and shouting. What do you want to see happening? We need to see 17.95 being broken, use as support, and then we can take this one higher. Are we trading in this market? No, we're not. I saw someone in my group trading in this market. I do hope and believe and pray that you change your rules, because that is ridiculously terrible trading. You are not trading in this market. Sorry, I'm very disappointed of you trading in this market, because that's not a market to trade in. We don't trade in that market. We trade in this market, this market. And when it goes into a range, and we know it's a range, we have identified it to be a range, then there is nothing else to do here. All right? So you sit on your well-earned money, your investment portfolio, until we go higher. If this one goes lower, you probably can sell it as well against my will. But this is not a tradable pattern, time frame, whatever. And if you go down to 15 minutes time frame, that's totally up to you to make those mistakes. But I am not going to make you do those mistakes, because I've done them myself. We have learned, we have prospered, we have overcome, and we learn from our mistakes. COT report for silver was 14,000 less contracts on buyers. Very interesting. Okay, cool. Coming into gold COT, 20,000 longs went out, shorts came in. So if you're then maybe expecting more bearish side, doesn't need to, because that is past 2 weeks ago almost now. If this continues, okay, that can be a shorter term trend, whatever. Remember, we are coming now into July. If we now make an even lower low before rising again, just remember, that's my plan, and I tend to be right. Not always. 20,000 as well, getting out of gold. Very interesting. Same thing with crude. More buyers coming in. I think that's because of the higher CPI number that needs to be changed for. So more buyers coming, more sellers coming in. Not a lot of change, but still more to the buy side. And we are now 669,000 contracts long and only 149,000 shorts. A long bias, very long. 82% is long in this market. So coming into this week and the economic calendar, probably not something you're very interested in, but I want to tell you there is some Fed speeches here. A lot of questions this week about what are we going to do. Don't be worried. We have retail sales, we have house index price. It can change the market. Consumer confidence, it can change the market, but it is summer, so there's not many traders to move the market with. Okay, so cool. GDP from GDP, GBP, and then we have consumer price index for euro. Still very low compared to America, but we shall see how that goes. Can it move the market? Yeah, it can move the market if it misses. If it's on target, it is on target. ADP unemployment, not really indicative of NFP anymore, but it comes in on Wednesday, and then we have NFP on Friday, and unemployment rate and all those things. Interesting. I'm going to be a lot of that I think. And then ISM manufacturing and all those things. So what do I want you to do for this upcoming week? Okay, I want you to, one, look at this COT report as something that's happening into the past. I want you to have a plan for the summer. I want you to plan for August this summer, so that by August you are ready. There is going to be moves in July, but remember, it is very frustrating time. I have tried that many years. I end up break even. So am I going to trade it? I don't know. It depends how much time I have. But please, take your risk down. If you cannot take the risk down, try this summer to do demo trading. Also, since the trends does not work this summer, you should not be expecting trends. Day trade, M2, and leave things alone. Okay, and things goes very slow, so you might have a day doesn't really move. That's when you pay with commission by holding your trades, costing you more money. Even though if you're just holding it for break even, you might have to hold it for 10 days and doesn't go anywhere. Okay, those effects out. I'm not going to be live today, so I hope you're good. The mentorship students will get something. The YouTube members will get something because they paid something. $5 for it to be a YouTube member. I think it's pretty reasonable, minimally at least. Until then, have a great day and happy trading.